Adobe actually just announced that they are stealing your work and using it for a profit. They're spying on your computer every time you open up Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, whatever app that you use. No, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is not science fiction. This is actually real. In Adobe's new terms of service, which I have pulled up here, it says, "We may access, view, or listen to your content through both automatic and manual methods using techniques such as machine learning in order to improve our services and software." It then clarifies content means any text, information, communication, such as audio, video, documents, or images that you upload or create using our services or software. You grant us a non-exclusive, worldwide, royalty-free license to use, reproduce, publicly display, distribute, modify, create derivative works based on, publicly perform, and translate the content. This flat out, clear as day, says they are going to use whatever you put in the app, whether it's a photo or a video or anything you make with Adobe apps, and sell it royalty-free without having to pay you anything for their own gain. So in this video, I'm going to break down why you should care, why exactly Adobe is doing this in the first place, and what you can do to stop it. Okay, so let's break this down first. I want to explain why you should even care about this in the first place. Why is it so bad that Adobe is trying to take your data or your content for AI? I think I've narrowed this down to about 2 reasons. So, reason number 1, I would say, is consent. The big issue here is your data or your content or your artwork or whatever you make with these Adobe products has probably already been used for AI without you realizing it. Yes, they ask for your permission, but it's buried in this weird terms of service, and that's how it is with all of these apps. It's not clear consent, and you don't really know what's going on. The second big reason, it's being used against you. I mean, think about it this way. You're an artist, okay? So you use Adobe Illustrator to make your digital art. Adobe then uses your digital art to train its AI model and then creates AI-generated artwork that puts you out of business. Now, I want to clarify, I love AI. I'm not an AI hater over here. I use AI like every single day. I use it for like logo concepts. I use it to write video outlines, and I think generative fill in Photoshop, the AI tool, is absolutely incredible. My concern is the sketchy way that Adobe is actually building their AI products. So allow me to explain exactly the why and how Adobe is doing that. I want you to think of this kind of like when we were in the Cold War and there was the space race going on and everybody was in competition to get to the moon first. This is kind of like that, but instead of being the first to get to the moon, it's about the first to get to AI. I'm talking Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Instagram, like all of the apps that we use on a daily basis are also competing in this race. So in Adobe's case, they have their app called Firefly, and you can use Firefly to create AI-generated images. Now, Firefly kind of sucks in comparison to Midjourney, which if you haven't used Midjourney, they were ahead of this game a long time ago. So now Adobe is desperately trying to keep up to make their AI app better. To make your AI app better, you just need more data. Now, data could be anything, just like Adobe said in their terms of service here. They said their data or their content is audio, video, documents, or images. So to make their AI better than Midjourney, they just need a lot of that stuff. And then their AI is so much smarter than Midjourney because it has so much more knowledge that it can make better stuff. Again, the big problem here is how shady these companies are being when it comes to consent. Google's been mining your data for years. Microsoft just released their new spyware computer that watches everything you do, as if that's not a big deal. These companies are asking for forgiveness, not permission, because it's totally worth it to them. Your content, your images, even if you've posted them on Instagram or Facebook, have already been scraped for use in training AI models. In fact, just this past week, a new alternative for Instagram called Cara came out. This is an anti-AI app where people can post their content and be safe from AI training. Users of Cara jumped from 50,000 to 650,000 in less than a week. Now, it's important for me to be clear. I want to pull this up. Adobe released a clarification statement saying that their terms of service aren't about AI. Adobe does not train Firefly, their AI app, on customer content. So it says that nice and big in bold. So if you trust Adobe, then you can be rest assured that they are not using your content like it says in their terms to train AI. But if you're even a little bit skeptical, their actions kind of speak louder than words, because these new terms clearly state that they're using it for AI. So let's talk about what exactly you can do to stop it. Okay, so fortunately with Adobe, there is a way to opt out of AI training. I'm going to show you how. I highly encourage you to opt out of Adobe scanning your content. Go to your privacy settings, and then there's two check marks right here. So the first one, it doesn't really have to do what we're talking about, but I would go ahead and just say check that one off. And then the second one is content analysis. This is the important one. Adobe may analyze your content using techniques such as machine learning to develop and improve our products and services. Again, pretty much flat out says we're going to use your content for AI. So go ahead and check that sucker off. Another solution is that Adobe claims that they only scan your content if it's in Creative Cloud. So if you're working locally on your computer and everything's saved to your desktop, you should in theory be safe. I'm going to be honest, I don't fully trust that approach. Another way to solve this is every time you open up a new file in Photoshop, you just make the background white and you take the type tool and you say, please don't scan this for AI. And you just leave this so that when they're manually reviewing your content, they'll see this and they'll respect your boundaries. Meta's apps like Facebook and Instagram and Threads also have opt-out buttons, but they've been notorious for not working, being extremely hard to get to. Like you actually have to call customer service to get down into this thing. And it doesn't really change the fact that everything you've already posted up until this point in history has been scraped to use for Meta AI. It's a weird time to be a creative because it's kind of hard to work around these things. You could try downloading Affinity or some other alternative app or Cara for Instagram, but it's just not that practical to do that. I think this is really going to end either when the companies feel like they have enough data or if one of them gets in a big lawsuit. I hope that in the future we see a reality where you're opted out by default and you can choose to opt in if you feel so generous that you want to help improve their product. I think it really should be a choice for the user, just like you choose to share your location, your camera, your microphone access, or files on your computer. This might be the end of the Adobe dynasty. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? I kind of hope so because Adobe's always been kind of buggy. I would love to see a new product come and just take over. Let me know in the comments below if you're still going to use Adobe products after this and if you still trust them. I post a video just like this on my channel every single week. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and you'll see my next video next week when I post it. I'll see you then.